What is up, everybody? Thank you for clicking on this video, and thank you for following Brandonbilt News. We are back this weekend heading into Watkins, Glen. I'm Zach Atanzavetti with KickingTheTires.net, the official media partner of Brandonbilt Motorsports, and of course the driver of the number 68 Chevrolet for this weekend and throughout the whole season, Brandon Brown. So first off, Brandon, we're coming off a couple weeks of no racing, at least in the Xfinity Series. How was your last couple weeks off?
It's been decent, relaxing. Spent the first off weekend up with the folks up at Larry's Lemonade in Hampton, Virginia, and then went up to Langley for the Hampton Heat. Did some announcing up there, so got to experience the craziness of the booth side. So that was a lot of fun. And then last week had some family coming to town and kind of experience where I'm living. And it was their first time getting to visit since COVID had kind of weaned off. So it was really awesome to get some of that little bit of R&R and get ready as we get back for a long stretch of races.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a long stretch of sponsorship announcements here for this weekend, which is always such great news. Really, to start things off, on the primary sponsorship side, we have ArmorGuard Coatings, which is a floor coatings for garages and shop floors. They've been around for quite a while, but they're a brand new sponsor here on the number 68. And then, of course, Lauzon Aviation, which has a little bit of a connection to this team, but it's a commercial air service and tourist establishment up in Ontario, and us racing in Watkins Glen. It's one of those closer spots, there, Michigan, a couple that kind of are closer to that Canadian market, and they've been around for over 50 years with air service and flying, hunting, and fishing outposts. So, Brandon, when it comes to two sponsorships like that are brand new for this number 68, what it's like having them on board, and what have you been learning about them as we head into this weekend?
So it's great to have those companies on board because I feel like they just fit within our NASCAR market so well. A lot of your NASCAR fans tend to be auto enthusiasts, and auto enthusiasts need a garage floor. So ArmorGuard is perfect for that, upgraded shop floor, protected shop floor, stronger shop floor. They actually did one in my father's house, handling both residential and commercial properties. So it's just kind of like one of those hand-in-hand pieces that kind of fits with racing. So I'm really excited to have them on board. They do service the Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina markets. So having them on board in New York, yes, it's not their attack market, but it's somewhere I feel that we could probably get them expanded to. And really and truly, it's all about getting them that exposure that they need. And I think that we're going to do it. We're going to knock it out of the park with Brandonbilt Motorsports in the 68, and then Lauzon Aviation. We've got a little tie to the team with Mac McLeod being his family's company, and having the avid outdoorsman, fishing, hunting, vacation, air charter. I mean, that goes extremely well with all the NASCAR fans, because a lot of our fan base you'll see is the outdoorsmen that look for that little bit of escape. So with the Canadian border opening up here on Monday the 9th, it's the perfect time to get back in the air, get back up fishing, hunting up in northern Ontario. So it's just an awesome partnership. I'm excited to have them on board and represent them this weekend. Hopefully they can fly us to a win.
There you go. That's a good way to put it. And the summer's not over yet, so if you want to get those vacations in, I mean, they got so much up there. And speaking of summer, of course, we got Larry's Hard Lemonade, which is something that I'm sure a lot of people drink year round, of course. I mean, I've had a few myself, but I think in the heat of the summer, Watkins Glen is always one of the hottest weekends of the year, for me at least. And Larry's Hard Lemonade is going to be on the lower quarter panels of your number 68. It was really birthed in 2008 at a backyard party of all places from Larry Wilson, and we know they've worked for multiple teams in NASCAR, and they've worked with you before. What are you really? What has your relationship been like with Larry's Hard Lemonade these past couple years or so?
Yeah, what kind of started out as like a partnership sponsorship has turned into a great friendship with them, and getting to hang out with Larry Jr., Vic, his family, his wife, everybody up in Hampton, Virginia has been phenomenal. They've been a multi-race partner of ours, so it's always awesome to have them on board. I love working with them, because when you see their car, you know it's their car, because it's usually a pretty wild out scheme, you know, loud yellows, pinks, greens, camouflage. You know, it's a veteran owned brand, so paying homage to the vets with that. So it's really great to have Larry's Lemonade on board and working with him for another race weekend.
Yeah, and of course, when it comes to the TV panel, we got Jabs Construction back on board. You know, I was able to speak with Mr. Jabs, you know, a couple weeks ago, and he's a great guy. And of course, they're a full service design, build, residential remodeling company, various locations in Virginia, and you've known them for so long, so I'm really excited about that. Then, of course, when it comes to the C post, we have Green Tech Energy, which is something that's fairly new. You guys worked with them before, but they kind of mostly work with lighting retrofits, and I've read that they can reduce energy costs as much as 50% in some buildings, and it's overall just a positive impact on the environment by decreasing carbon emissions. And as you know, when it comes to auto racing, those type of when it comes to focusing on things like that can improve the environment, as we're working with race shops and with race cars and all this travel back and forth. What have you really learned about what they've done and how it really ties into what the team has been doing?
Yeah, no, I mean, Green Tech Solar is it's kind of important, because it working with companies like that, it helps. I mean, it makes you feel good. Feels like you're offsetting a little bit of your carbon footprint that you put down every weekend with racing, and you know, their goal is to just reduce carbon emissions, bring solar systems to residential families, because there's kind of a stigma about it, about how expensive it is to own a system. And usually you see it either in big solar farms or just big companies will have them. But Green Tech's kind of here to teach people how they can actually have it on their home, reduce their costs. It's, you know, they do it through payments, and it's one of those things where what I thought was the coolest thing about it was that you actually, when you have those panels, you can store energy and sell it back to the power company. So you can in turn make money on lighting your home. So it's really cool. It's definitely a great way to become more eco-friendly. So outside of just separating your recyclables, you definitely got to look into powering your home from the sun. So it's always, you know, every day it turns on. So it's just a great, easy way to power your home, and it is awesome to have Jabs back on board our 68, because it's such a great partnership with Tim, his family, and being able to bring some awareness to them. I know that they've told us that a lot of fans have sent some hero card requests to them, so I made sure to sign a bunch and get them up there, and hopefully those requests are also turning into some home remodeling requests. So if you do have an interest in doing any home renovations, remodels, additions, subtractions, whatever it is, I hope everybody gives Jabs a call.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know we're going to be going back down to Virginia pretty soon with Richmond. And really, when it comes to all these announcements, you know, 5 sponsors on one car, I mean, I think everyone's wondering, what was this week like for you when it comes to getting all this stuff together, or these last couple weeks maybe?
Oh, it was perfect for me. It was hectic on Mac. I definitely try to dump it all on him if I can, but no, it's definitely one of those weeks where your hustle turns up just a little bit, because you got to make sure everybody's logos placements correct on the car, and making sure everybody's happy with how the car looks. You know, everything that we need to do on this side, and then, you know, it's got to go hand in hand with Doug and in the competition side, making sure that the car is the best it can be, to give those companies the best showing. And so it can be a little stressful, but now the car is in the big can, headed up to Watkins, Glen. So it feels like that car is, you know, you can wipe your hands clean of it. But as we do that, it's already prep time for next week, and then a little more film study for me, maybe jump a little bit on iRacing and fire up my my ArmorGuard 68 on there, and try and get these laps figured out.
Yeah, and Watkins Glen, you know, as we make this transition into a couple weeks of road racing, you know, the road courses have been going pretty well throughout this year. You know, you got 6th at Mid-Ohio, 11th last time out at Road America. But Watkins Glen can be its own thing, you know. It's been around for a while. You raced there a couple years ago. You're starting 14th for Saturday, so Going into the weekend, what are your thoughts? Are you able to bring in past road course stuff into this race, or is it really just, each one kind of stands on its own?
Yeah, there's a lot of them that have their extreme unique features. Just because when you're running a road course like Watkins Glen is so high paced, fast track, high downforce. It really shows the downforce in the cars because you're going so fast up through the S's, you're going so fast through the bus stop, through the long right hander. The only real slow corner there is the turn one when everybody has to take it and go down to almost first gear, second gear, but you're going to see a lot of hectic restarts there. Some crazy 3 and 4 wide passes have been made before, and I'm sure they'll be made again. You have a lot of, headstrong kids like myself ready to make our run at the playoffs. So we're going to have to maximize everything this weekend to really get that 68 aimed in the right direction and start picking our way back up in points, because it's been 2 weeks off of an okay run, and it's not what we need to make the playoffs. What we need to do is really just capitalize on stage points, capitalize on good finishes, making sure that we're finishing the races and not taking ourselves out. So that's going to be my main focus. Keep all 4 tires on the asphalt this weekend. And, it's a lot easier to roll a car onto your ArmorGuard garage floor on 4 wheels rather than 4 casters.
Yeah, that's for sure. Do you know if any of your partners are going to be making it out to the race this weekend?
We don't really have any partner guests coming up. I know that we have some of the team guys' families are going to come and see the races. So when we have those open passes, we like to try and help our guys get some family time when they can, because 14 weeks straight of racing, there's not a lot of R&R time to hang out with everybody at home until after that first weekend in November.
Yep, absolutely. And after a couple weeks off, NASCAR is back, and we got quite a few consecutive weekends of racing here. So thank you, everyone, for watching. We wish Brandon the best of luck in the 68. I will be out at Watkins Glen, so we're going to meet up and hopefully have a solid weekend. And hopefully, if all things go well, we get this number 68 victory lane. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.